seat. Let's get started on doing some easy peasy nails. Hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday, got some good to eat, enjoying your family, friends, loved ones. If you're at work, hope you're off soon so you can enjoy the rest of the day. Hope everybody said their prayers. And yeah, we just gonna go ahead and get started. So today's nails will be different. So I drew out the nails. I've gone through some changes. So child, don't worry about what it's looking like. We're gonna worry about what it look like at the end. Okay. What it look like on the paper, we're gonna worry about what it look like at the end on these nails. Okay. All right. So today we're gonna be doing a spider. So I ended up getting this inspo from my significant other, Sugar, and I was like, think of an insect that we can draw. And she was like, do the Black Widow. I'm like, okay, cool. So I ended up doing the Black Widow spider offline. So this is what it looks like offline. Don't worry about what it looks like underneath there. But we're gonna actually do this same spider today. So this set should be fairly easy. If you want to try this set out, feel free to try this set out. Solely up to you. So on my draw out, I started with a red or a wine color, and then it's going to be black at the tips. So, um, or actually, it'll be wine, black, and then wine. Okay. So we're going to do like some really fun nails. Now you can do this as a solid color. If you like, you can do, just a solid wine if you like, or whatever solid color you want. But I'm just making them a little bit more spunky and fancy. So I'm gonna go in with a white. Hey Shirley, how you doing? All right, so now I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more wine, and then we're going to go ahead and um, we're going to go ahead and take, because I want to add a little bit more black. So I'm going to take a little bit of this wine off. I'm going to take just about that much. Then we're going to go in with some black. Okay. So these are going to be some pretty fun nails. It's just a freestyle set. So yeah, we're going to make them nice, fun, and, spidery, if you will. Okay. So then once you have this, you're going to need your handy dandy tool brush like such. Okay. And then you will just basically blend everything out. Just blend it out. Just pat it in place, blend it out however you want. Um, and then there's no rhyme or rhythm to it. You just literally like just blend them out. But honestly, I'm not liking the way this is looking, so I'm actually going to just go in with all wine. I'm just going to keep the design how I had it. So, yeah, I'm not going to blend it out. All right, so here we go. All right, so we're going to make that one wine, and then we're going to make this pinky wine as well. Okay, like I said, we're going to make a 3D spider, a 3D widow, black widow spider. So just stay around if you want to see how that is done. And then we're going to keep moving on. Okay. But like I said, these nails are going to be pretty easy for the most part. The longest part um, is going to take me to do will be the spider itself. Okay. And I already got everything pretty much molded out. So we should be good to go. I'm going to time myself and see how long it takes me today, because y'all know I always plan for a certain amount of time, and then child, well, we do something else. All right, so this one right here, I'm going to do a little drip on these nails, on this nail. So I'm going to go in with a nude base here, and then we're going to French tip this nail. We're going to French tip this nail, and then we're going to do some drips on it. and then the middle nail and the ring nail will be this Milky White by Mamita. You can get this off of Amazon. This Nor Black off of Amazon. This Jewitney off of Amazon. And then also this Meta Cross comes off of Shein. So you can get all of these products that I'm using from pretty much various different places. So this is what our Black Widow will sit on. And then we're going to do some Black Bloom under there, but instead of doing like circles or anything, we're actually going to make it look more marbly than anything. And then we're going to start on our Black Widow design. So you will need some solid gel glue to make your Black Widow if you want it to look like mine. And if you're not, comfortable with 3D designs, I just say challenge yourself. Challenge yourself and just do whatever it is you feel. Hi, makeup. How y'all doing out there, lovelies, honey bunches of oats? Okay, so we're gonna challenge ourselves today. So this is what the first coat of everything is looking like. We're gonna pop it in the nail lamp for. We're gonna cure today on about 75 seconds just to make sure everything is nice and cured, and then we're gonna move on. So when I did this spider, I just used some solid gel glue. Um, and so I've already mapped out the body. So here's the body. We'll have to reshape the body pieces. So you'll need a big circle like so, and then a smaller circle for the body. And then we have the legs over here. You're going to need probably about 6 pieces of these little legs, okay? So you can attach the legs to the body. Now, you don't have to necessarily have, you know, 6 legs because you probably can get it done with about 4 legs, but I got 2 here and then we'll do 2 online. I don't know where my other 2 just went that fast, but that's okay. All right, so this tie is going to sit on the nail. It's going to look just like a spider, Black Widow, okay? And then we're going to keep going. And so you will need a few tools. So you're going to need a dotting tool. You're going to need your firming and, just I call it a construction tool. And then you'll need your little brush, okay? So it's solely up to you. What you use. All right, time to go in with a second coat of everything. We're gonna again go in with this wine red, and then we're going to make sure she is all nice and jeweled up and done right and tight as well. So don't worry, it won't be a bland nail. It will be done up, okay? And then too, honestly, if you don't want to add anything to your nail, that's totally fine too. Less is better, like I tell y'all all the time. So it's up to you however you want to do it, but I'm gonna add a few jewels to the nail. Okay, and then we're gonna even do a spider web on this pinky nail. Okay, so got some fun things going on with this nail set. Okay, going again with my meter cross. That will be their new number 816 7 milliliter bottle. So we're gonna go ahead and put on the second coat of that, and you can find this meter cross polish, like I said, off of Shein in a set of 6 for about $3. A set of 6 for about $3 and probably like 50 cents. So it isn't expensive at all, and it is an extension gel polish. So it's up to you, however you want to, um, mold and do this art that we're gonna do. But just letting y'all know, where everything is coming from and what we're working with. Okay, so we're going in with our Mamita second coat of this off white or milky white per se. And then we'll do the same thing. Make sure you don't have any lint on that nail. So like we had some lint on that nail, no good. Make sure you're taking that lint off or it will cure that way, okay? All right now. All right, honey bunches of oats, you got this, okay? All right, so we're gonna go in with the second coat here. Second coat here, okay? And then once we do that, I'm gonna show you all while this is in the nail lamp, we're gonna go ahead and fix the bigger uh, circle for the body, and by the time it comes out, we're gonna be ready to cure everything. Now, if you have a flash cure, go ahead and pull that out as well. That way you can just flash cure everything. I got this off of Shein for like $2 back in the Gap, believe it or not. So yeah, you could probably get that off Amazon for probably like $5, $6. I don't know, child. But anywho, moving on. All right, so we're gonna pop that into the nail lamp and then let that cure. Now it's time to go ahead and make sure everything is nice and right and tight. So you want a small ball like so for the widow's body, I mean, for the head, okay? And then, the body is bigger, okay? So we got our little small dot there. You can place it on your palette until you're ready to use it, and then you can go in with the bigger ball, okay? All right. And then you're going to just place that down, okay? So when everything come out, we just put it together. You're going to go ahead and mold you some legs. Your legs should look something like this, like some little clear long legs, and then you will need some nippers, okay? So I told you all I got two. I actually did four, but I don't know where the other two went over here. So we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, so in order to get those legs, you're gonna take a little bit out. Go ahead and use your cuticle pusher to scoop the stuff out, child. You ain't gotta use your hand, but that's what I do. Little country in me. I got the country in me. Oh yeah. All right. So we're gonna roll them out, and then you just need a little. A little goes a long way. Okay. And then once you roll them out like so, okay. Once you roll them out like so, I'm gonna show you what they should look like. And then too, you could put this on a nail, or you could leave it on, your little um you could leave it on your um, draw out or whatever you drew it on. It's up to you. I prefer to put it on a nail, honestly, but I ain't finna do all that right now, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna use this and stick it in the nail lamp, okay? All right. So once you got everything rolled out, they should look like some little legs, like so, okay? All right, and then make sure everything is nice and, consistent to one another. And when I say that, your legs should look similar to one another, like so. So all of your legs should look like this. They shouldn't be thicker, they shouldn't be smaller, they should be similar in that look, okay? So once you keep going on, you're going to, like I said, roll everything out. Blah, 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 blah. Get it nice and long as you want. And then pop it in the nail lamp. So here go the other two right here. I don't know if you all can see them. They're here and here. Okay, so we're going to swap this out, pop this in the nail lamp. Um, and then we're going to keep going. All right, so I am going to start with the spider. So just like we did with the dummy nail that I did offline, I'm going to just show you how I started. So I started with the body first. So I started with the big piece first, okay? So, oh, we can't do that yet because we didn't bloom the nail. So let me go ahead and bloom this nail with a little bit of black. Thank you, hon. With a little bit of black, and then we're going to get started and put it on there. So the reason why I'm adding a little black to the background is just because I wanted to get it, give it a little bit more, a little bit more scenery, So we're going to take a little bit of black. You can take your dotting tool. This is where your dotting tool will come into play. You can take your bigger side or your smaller side. You're going to dip it into that black, and then we're going to draw some lines, okay? We're going to draw like some little thunder lines is what I call them. So just nice and easy, and breezy. Let the bloom do what it needs to do, okay? But then you're just lightly going to go in and add some nice lines to the nail art, okay? Now, if you don't want it to be like this, it's totally fine. I'm just trying to give it like a widowy look, like a black widow, baby. Okay, okay. We probably shouldn't be singing Katy Perry because she got a lot going on right now. But yeah, I get it. Okay. Anywho, moving on. All right, so I'm just going in with some little lines, and you see how the bloom is just taking over, it's doing what it needs to do. Don't get frustrated if you go in with thicker lines. thicker bloom, just start over, okay? You ain't got nothing but time. So the bloom is doing what I needed to do. I'm gonna go in with some darker black here so that it can show up a little bit more pigmented, doing the same exact thing. And then we're going to go ahead and pop it into the nail lamp. Okay, so like I said, these are going to be some fun but different eclectic nails. Okay, um and what I want to inspire you all to do is to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, this is my first day ever drawing a or doing a Black Widow 3D design. Okay. But I honestly was about to just not do it. But if I didn't do it, then how was I gonna get to it? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about things like that and that in that, retrospect. So yeah. So here we go. So we're gonna let that bloom and then we're gonna set the spider on top of here. Okay. We're gonna set the spider on top of here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in the lamp. I wanted to give it a little bit more marble effect, a little bit more marble look. Um, and then, like I said, you don't have to do much at all because the bloom is going to take over and do exactly what you want it to do. Okay. And don't worry, your spider going to sit on top of it anyway. So, child, you just make sure it's to your liking and keep it pushing, okay? And what I'm doing now is I'm just connecting a little bit of the black to one another to give it a more like thunder look, like like the spider is ready to bite you, honey. She ready to come for you, honey, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna pop that into the nail lampion and then we're going to move on, okay? I'm gonna cure that a little bit more for about 80 seconds. So then um we got our legs on here. So I'm gonna take the legs off. Don't look like they cured much like I wanted them to. So let me set their little tail back in there. All right. Then we're gonna go ahead and bloom this nail too, because I'm actually gonna write Black Widow on here on this nail. So um I'm going to bloom this. And for this one here, I'm going to add a little bit more fire up under there. So I'm going to add a little bit of black and a little bit of the red. Hey lady, hey Miss Lady, hey. How you doing, lovely? Thank you so much. Thank you, lovely. Y'all make sure I go follow everybody in the comments, okay? Make sure I go follow Miss Lady. Hey, make sure I go follow Makeup Gaga, Shirley, Tim. Make sure I go follow everybody, okay? All right. And thank you so much, Miss Lady. I sure appreciate that. You keep doing your thing too. Okay, lovely. Period, point to blank. Okay. All right. So here we go, lovelies. So now we're gonna step it up. I'm gonna go in with my smaller side of my dotting tool, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of red, just a little bit. I'm gonna give it a more wicked look, like blood is coming, dripping from the nail or whatever, you know. And then I'm going to do, well, not like blood, but like, yeah, exactly like blood, because she's a widow, right? She's a spider. So then we're gonna go in with more black though than anything, okay? So then you're gonna take your black. I just wanted to give it a little bit more, zhuzh. And then we're going to let the black do what it does, okay? All right. And then if you need to go in and add a little bit more black to your palette, make sure you do that, okay? Make sure you do that, okay? All right, bless you, huh? You're welcome. All right, so it's looking more pinkish than anything, but don't worry, we're gonna go in with the second coat of this black, and then we're going to do what we need it to do, okay? And you're even gonna make sure you get some black very close to the red so that it's looking exactly like you want it to. Wipe that off and then go back in with that red and make it darker, okay? Make it dark, okay? All right. All right, and then watch the bloom do what it needs to do as well, okay? Okay. If you want to overlap it if that's what you want to do. But make it, you know, more of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're gonna go in and we're going to Black Widow it with the words Black Widow, and then we're going to fix her up. Okay. So right in here, my black is going out a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and cure her. So this is what it's looking like. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Casper. Lovely. Thank you. How you doing? All right. Okay, lovely. So we got that on there. Okay, our legs are cured, and then we are ready. We're ready to sit our um spider down and get her going. All right, so let's move everything out the way. Make sure your desk is clear when it's time to go ahead and do your 3D design. That way you ain't getting frustrated with stuff falling and being all over the place. We ain't doing that, okay? All right, so time to take baby girl out. She's all nice and dry. Nothing on your hand, okay? Then you're good to proceed to get what you need, okay? All right, so make sure that first circle on there is circle Lee, okay, baby? It's small enough for the head, okay? And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna easily take it and put it right in the center, okay? Right in the center, like so. Okay, that's the first part, okay? So it should look something like this. The second part is gonna be her big old back side, okay? She's blessed, okay? She's blessed, honey. All right, you're gonna get it nice and right. So this is where your tool will come into play, okay? All right. And then you're going to go ahead and just make sure you're molding it nice and right, okay? Make sure that circle is nice, to your liking, and then we're gonna keep going, okay? So we're just making sure everything is nice and round like a black widow. Okay, make sure everything is nice and round. So it should look like this, okay? The body should look like so, okay? All right. And don't get bent out of shape if at first, you can't mold it to your liking. It's okay. That's why you have this tool and you have patience on your side. Okay. You got this. Trust me, you. When I first did this offline today, okay, you hear me? Keyword today, offline. I sure was like, oh my God, this is a hot mess. This is taking long. But if you want it bad enough, you're gonna go for it. Period point blank. Okay. All right, Black Widow baby. Her backside is nice and right, okay? So the backside is gonna be a little big, okay? All right. So here we go. We're gonna pop her into the nail lamp because you gotta make sure you cure everything, okay? In the meantime, in between time, this is where your legs are gonna come into play, and then this is where your nippers are gonna come into play. So each one of her legs, we had to start with a small base and then go in with a longer base because, she has some long legs, short legs, long legs, short legs. Okay. So we're going to cut our legs into those small little pieces that we're going to need. Also, too, you will need some rhinestone glue handy. Okay. You will need that handy. So, again, do not get bent out of shape. You got this. Okay. All right. So, here we go. We're going to start with I'm going to go in with something about this small, especially to start with the side of the body. Okay. So, we're going to nip that off. Okay. And then I'm going to guesstimate, or actually, we won't guesstimate. We'll actually go in and use the exact measurement in just a second for what we would need for her body. Okay. All right. So let me take these things out of the nail lamp so we know we're good. Okay. All righty. So you see how we got here? Let me see. So here she's all nice and on there. Now, for each side of her body, you're going to start kind of right on the sides, okay? Like right in the middle pockets. So right here. So right here in this area right here is where you're going to start, okay? And then you're going to do that on each side. So it should be 4 legs here, 2 legs in the back, 2 legs in the front, okay? All right? So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to take our rhinestone glue. we're gonna put a little bit of dot, just a little dot right in that centerpiece, right there, right in the middle between the head and the body, okay? Not too much, but enough, okay, to where it stands up, okay? And you're gonna do something like so, okay? You're gonna stand it up, okay? You want it to stand up like that, all right? And then this is where your flash cure will come into play. You can flash cure it, okay? That way you ain't got to keep popping it into the nail lamp, okay? So we're going to flash cure there for a few seconds. And then we're going to keep moving on, okay? Because then we're going to make the other legs, okay? Make sure it's cured nice and right, or else it will move and then, well, you upset, okay? All right, we're cured. All right, then you're gonna go in on the body just a little bit, same way, same thing. You're gonna put a dot right there on the side of the body, right there on the side of the body. And then this is where you're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. You're gonna cut the legs small or long enough as long enough as you feel like you need, okay? All right, I'm gonna go up just a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with about I think we're good with about this much, okay? Because then we got to make sure we extend the legs, okay? All right, so once that's done, you're gonna take your other side, you're gonna stand it up, okay? Okay, flash cure, flash cure. And if you don't have one of these lights, go ahead and just purchase and invest in you one, okay? That's the best thing you can do. Have multiple lights because child, when one don't work, we sure can go to the next, okay? All right. And don't worry, right now it might not look like much to you, but you gotta trust the process, okay? You gotta trust the process, okay? All right, so now we're cured there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side. And if this side is looking a little bit long, you want to make sure the legs are nice and even. So if one is a little longer than the other, go ahead and just clip it off if that's what you want to do, or you can keep it. But for me, I'm just gonna make sure I like to be a perfectionist. It's certain things. So I want to go ahead and just clip that off. We'll keep it because she's not doing what I needed to do, but that's okay. We got to keep rolling with the punches, honey. All right. So next we do the same thing. Make sure everything is nice and even to each side, and then we're gonna keep going. Okay. All right. So once that's on there, then we're going to do the same thing to each one. Each side, okay? And then what you can do if you want to make sure everything is nice and even, then you can turn it to the side and then just clip everything however you want. And that'll work, or you can just guesstimate, okay? It's solely up to you, lovely, but you got this, okay? You got this, okay? So we're gonna go in about there and we're gonna use both of these pieces on this side, okay? I think that one is a little bit longer, so we need to go in with this one right here. Okay. All right. And then these are bendable, they'll bend, so don't get bent out of shape if it's not standing up as, nice and right as you want. Okay. It's okay. It ain't the end of the world. It really ain't. Okay. All right. So then we're gonna do the same thing right here. Stick it on there, and then once you stick it on there, child, you gotta go ahead and make sure it's standing up, child, okay? Or else it'll just keep falling, okay? So stick it up there. And honestly, we're gonna just flash cure. We'll just go ahead and flash cure. Because this one ain't gonna do right. Okay. Just flash cure that right there. And then we're good there. Then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna need a little bit more A little bit more glue right here, and then we'll do the same thing, okay? But make sure you got enough so that it can stand up on its own. So as you're flash curing it, it isn't, falling like mine, child. All right, this will need to be clipped just a little bit. So there we go. It's gonna start off looking like a little beetle, honestly. Okay. My glue, I guess I ain't get enough glue. So you want to make sure you got enough glue on there now. Okay. And the trick is go in with the side that you clipped, uh, off, and then press that, up against the body because that freshly cut space kind of sits in the nail really well for you. Okay. All right. So now, like a black widow, baby. All right. This is where your second set of legs come into play. Okay. You're going to do the same thing back here, and then up here and up here. So for these legs, you're going to do the exact same thing, except you're going to go just a little bit shorter so that your legs can extend out like so, okay? All right, we're going to stick that in there. We're going to flip this over because that's where we freshly cut everything. And then we're going to just place it on there, okay? And stand it up, okay? Stand it up, okay? Then we're going to flash cure it, okay? Now, you can't just stick it in the nail lamp if that's what you want to do, but child, it'd have been a fail if I stuck it in the nail lamp. So just get you one of these lights where you just hold and go, okay? Hold and go, hold and go. All right. Now, moving on to the next side, go ahead and put your glue down. Like I said, it ain't gonna look, it's gonna look like a little beetle. You're gonna have to find it. You want to find it, but you're gonna find it, okay? You just gotta keep trusting in you and knowing that, throughout all of the, you know, trials and tribulations of getting this to, where you want to see it, go, you gonna get there. You're gonna find it. Trust me, you. All right, we're gonna cut this a little bit. And that's why I always tell y'all, if y'all see something, go ahead and just fix it right then and there. Okay. Go ahead and fix it right then and there. Okay. We want it to look exactly like our Black Widow here. Okay. All right. So go ahead and, like I said, this will be the longest part here. So this one is still a little too long, so we need to go ahead and cut it. And so if you have to cut it a few times, child, you doing it. So you doing it. You doing it. No, you doing it. You ain't going to pay nobody for this design, or, people gonna be paying you. So you gotta have the patience, boo boo. You gotta have the patience. Patience, little sister. Oh, if you know, you know. All right, it's time to flash cure. Okay. Time to flash cure. So just flash cure it, and then we're going to move on, okay? So once that's on there, nice and right and tight, then we're going to move on to our front, okay? So they're going to have some little flyaways, and that's okay. So honestly, you could split these two. You can split this one right here in half and let that do what it does if you want. At least that's what I'm going to do, because the front tentacles are going to be rather long, and we want them to be like pointy, like so, okay? Pointy. Yeah, I didn't put no base coat on that nail, so child, she looking a little cray cray, but that's okay, baby. That is okay. All right, so now I'm just going in, putting the glue on there. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Definitely keep a upbeat personality because honestly, it's a lot of stuff like I always tell, my people. Like I could be up here upset about a lot of stuff, but no, that's not who I choose to be. But yes, honey, I'm so glad you liking the content, huh, bun. Welcome. Bonjour. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and just cure these two, and then we're gonna extend the legs. We're going to extend the legs. Okay. All right. So once we extend the legs, then you're going to see it come to life. Okay. Now you will need a liner brush. Go ahead and get your liner brush out because you will need to do the body black. And then you will be also drawing the hourglass on the back of the body. She got a voluptuous body. Okay. All right, honey. All righty. Now this next part. This is why I say you need to make sure you have some extra legs, okay? Because you need to make sure that you extend them out. You are most welcome, lovely. Most welcome. All right. So here we go. So now the legs are going to come out like so on each side, okay? You're going to lift them up, make sure everything is nice and right. Oh, that sounds good. Real sound really good. All right. So we're going to cut the leg about, let's go up about here, okay? And let's see if that's going to be a good mount, okay? I'm actually going to use that for I'm going to use this for the back legs, okay? So I'm going to cut that little piece just a smidget more, and then we're going to go ahead and pop it onto the nail, okay? About that much. What you want to do is take your glue, put a little bit right here at the tip, right there, and then you can go ahead and just place it right here on the end. Place a little bit of glue so that it can stick on there nice and right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just show you what we're doing. We're going to do this. We're going to lift that up, bend it back if you have to, so that it is nice and tall like you need it to. And as you can see, we're already coming together. Already coming together. Now, one thing you want to do is make sure the legs look like legs, okay? So again, make sure you have enough glue on there. And bam, you got the first leg on there, okay? We're going to flash cure that. We're going to flash cure that. And then we're going to draw the body, the joints, okay? So for the joints, you're literally going to take a little bit of this, dab a little bit on there, or you can just use your solid gel glue and do this part if you want to. But I have fun doing this, just going around and around and back and forth and stuff, honestly. And then it's going to give you a nice little dot there, and then you're going to cure that, okay? And this is how you make the joints. If you have to go back in, go back in. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you, however you do it. But and then too, this also secures the attachments that you're gonna be doing to each leg. Okay. All right, that's on there, nice and right. So this is how it's looking. Okay. All right, lovelies. We making headway. We cooking with gas. Cooking with gas. We cooking with gas, honey. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side here. We're gonna take some glue. Put a little bit right there. And then we're going to put a little bit right here. All right. Now, um, I always tell y'all the truth over here on this channel. I'm no professional, but I just like what I do, so I go hard in the paint. So take everything with what? A grain of salt, but do what? Take it, honey. Take it. Okay? All right. If you want more professional looks, I always like to make sure that you all know that you have the option to definitely go check out more professional people. If mine is more or too complex or, not simple enough or is too simple, you know what I'm saying? You have that option. But I do appreciate you all for being here with me. Okay? All right. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and place this little leg there. All right. And we want it to be, you might have to bend this part up just a little bit in order to get that satisfaction of making sure that they're fully connected, okay? But nevertheless, back to what I was saying is that you got this. You don't have to be a professional to slay. You just have to have the patience, dedication, and consistency to achieve and do the things that you want, and also a good prayer life. Positive vibes, get around positive people. And I mean, not doing the basics, because if that's what you want to do basic, then do basic. If you want to evolve, then take a bet on you. Okay. All right. So here's the other leg. All right. We're looking pretty good there. So I'm going to go ahead and flash cure here. Okay. All right. And then we're going to connect the joints. Don't worry about how it's starting off. You just need to worry about how you're going to finish it. And you're going to finish it real good, period, point to blank. Okay. Because you got these, boo boo. Okay. You do. Okay. Period. All right. So once we have gotten that nice and cured, time to go ahead and do the joints. So we're going to do the same thing that we did to the other side. Put a little bit there, go around. Like I said, you can just do the circle. Can just roll you out some solid gel glue and let that be it. But like I said, I get satisfied just watching me doing that back and forth. All right. And then boom, we got the joints there. Okay. All right. You got it. Just keep going. Just keep going. It don't matter if the little legs looking bumble jumble, nice and right. You got all the time in the world to get it right. At least you are trying it. You're stepping out of your comfort zone and you are excelling at it. You are stalwartly excelling at whatever you're doing. Okay. All right. So now we have two legs finally connected. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. That's why it's important to make sure you have a lot of legs rolled out so that you can just keep going. Now, I wish my little legs then hadn't have failed, because then we can keep going. But child, I don't know where them legs is. So we got to roll out some more, which is perfect for us because you all can see what I do again. So we're going to take a little bit of this. We're going to pinch it. We're gonna put it on this nail and we're gonna roll it out. But don't put too much, because you want the legs to be equivalent to at least, to one another, period. You know what I'm saying? So actually just roll it out on your little thing, and then you can cure it on the nail, okay? So they should look like so. Okay. And then this is where your tool comes in to play. Make sure everything is nice and firm and nice and right to your liking. And then I'm gonna do two more of these, like so. Okay, take a little bit. We're gonna roll it up right here. Roll it. If it's looking too thick, just take a little bit off. It ain't the end of the world. Don't get bent out of shape about the smallest thing. You got to keep going to achieve and believe. You got to believe and achieve. Okay. All right now. All right, we're gonna roll it nice and right and tight. Pick it up. Pick it. Pick. Okay, come on. Pick it up. Put it on that nail. And keep it moving. Keep it moving, okay? Then we'll do one more to make sure that all the legs have joints and stuff, okay? And stuff and things, okay? All righty. So once you have that on there, then you can just flash cure, okay? We'll do this one separate, but let's go ahead and just flash cure that. So now I'm just flash curing the legs, okay? And I do thank y'all for somebody put, I don't even know what that is. Is that a gift you all did for five? It says five up there. I don't know. But I thank you all for that. I'm still learning about this monetization thing. We're just fresh. We all got we just got monetized on this channel with April 6th. So it's only been a couple of weeks, but I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Whatever you share, whatever you gift, whatever you give, that's totally fine. Even if you just give inspiration and motivation, baby, I appreciate that, honey. That goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you keep your money and we grow and achieve things together than give it. You invest in you. I'm gonna be all right. Okay. But I thank y'all so much. All right. Uh, However, it does help the channel. It does help the channel, okay? All right, thank y'all. All right, so here we go. Back to the legs. So now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just keep assessing each time you do the legs, how long the legs need to be, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and clip this one till about, we'll say about right here. About right here, okay? All right. And then we'll do the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to add a little bit of glue to make sure everything is nice and connected. And then you're going to add some glue at the bottom. Okay. Stick it up there. We probably should use this one for the front. I think I use this one for the front, actually. And we'll just use this one for the side right here. Okay. And then if you need to lift that joint up, lift it up so that it can, you know, go down, then do that. Okay, it's a little long, so we're going to cut this a little bit more. You don't want it to be overflowing. You want everything to be nice and even, okay? Nice and even, okay? All right. So now once we got that clip, let's go in, lift up the leg, and then just place it down, okay? Who? Uh, I know that's right. And then here we go here. I'm just going to place that down like so. Okay. I'm going to have to add a little bit of this acetone to my hand so that it doesn't keep sticking. So once I place it down, it does what I need it to do. And if you have to clip the joint, go ahead and clip that as well. And because essentially we want it to all flow. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cure this, okay? So that one was a little too long. Clip that one again. Go in with some glue. You're going to go right here on the tippy top, a little bit under. And then you're also going to, again, put a little bit right on the nail itself. Pop it on there. You have to work with it, okay? Oh, where'd it go? Where'd you go? Oh, my God. This is crazy. I don't know where it went, y'all. It's all good, though. We're going to keep moving. We ain't got time. We got another leg we can use. So clip it, nip it, keep it moving. All right. So you need a tool that's going to help you guide the legs as well. So something like this. All right. I'm gonna let it hang actually, because it is what it is. We'll just go ahead and just do it like so. Okay. Like I said, you gotta work with it. We'll test you and try you, but it is what it is. You gotta keep going, okay? You gotta keep going. Keep going. All right. Now that it's connected, go ahead and do the joints. And it's just a ball. Flash cure that and just keep moving, okay? And you will slowly see it all come together, okay? So you're just gonna keep repeating that until you get all the legs and the joints on there, and then you'll just keep moving along, okay? Oh, y'all can be sure to hype this video if you want to as well. I don't know what hype mean, but I'm still learning. All right, y'all. Okay. Now we got the other piece here. We're going to clip this piece because it's too long. We're going to clip it to about right here. I think that's pretty good. That's long enough. Child, this stuff keep on falling. And I promise you, it's blending so well that I okay, here we go right here. All right. So we're gonna clip that one more time. We're gonna clip it short, just like we got this one. All right. Boom. I think that's too short actually. Oh no, it ain't. No, it ain't. All right, there we go. I think the ones that might trip you up the most, or if you anything like me, it might be the four that's on the side, because the two that go in the front and the two that go in the back, they ain't so bad because they're longer. But child, they'll get you if you let them. They will get you. All right, we gonna flash cure that. Where my little cure at? Flash cure for a few seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and draw the joints again. Okay. So yeah, like I said, if you want it bad enough, you gonna sit there, you gonna take the time to make sure everything is nice and right and tight, and let it do what it does. Okay. You're gonna let it do what it does. Okay. And don't let nobody deter you from you achieving any and all things that you want to achieve when it comes to your gifts and talent. Don't let nobody deter you. Let them folks go. You ain't even gotta explain it. Just walk out. Walk out of their life. Don't look back. You know what I'm saying? You want energy, you want positive vibes, you want sunny D calcium. Okay? You don't need no deficiency. Okay? Period point blank. Anywho, moving on. All right. So we got that on there, child. Finally. We coming along. Like I said, this will be the longest part here. Okay. All right. We got one more leg that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. So you're going to roll it out on your little palette like so. I'm gonna actually flash cure that. So we'll flash cure that on our little palette. It's just a little leg. Okay, make sure it's nice and sturdy, okay? But still bendable. Still bendable, okay? All right. I think we're good. All right. Good to go. Next, moving on. I think this one long enough to where we can use it a few times. So let's go ahead and get this side, and then we'll do the two long ones in the front. Okay. All right. So let's go short about here. Get our little gel right here and there. Okay. Take it, add the little leg. Oh, that one a little too short, but that one a little too short. So we'll cut it again. And we'll cut it a little bit longer this time. It's about right here. This one should work just perfectly. And it does. It does. Flash cure that. And then we're going to go ahead and attach the other ones too. And then we can come back and do our little joints. Because y'all get it by now. Y'all get it. All right. Once that's cured, move on to this one right here, okay? Maybe we can use this one, but I'm already knowing this one is going to be too long, way too long. So we're just going to clip that one. Put our glue on here. Okay, make sure we got it right there on the end. I do that so that we can make sure everything is nice and, if it does lay, it's nice and, nice and firm. So I need to add a little acetone to my hand to make sure it doesn't stick. And then boom. We will flash cure this one. The legs look a little jumbo, but she look a little juicy. She a little juicy thing. But yeah, I get it. And then we're gonna do the two in the front. Now the two in the front, I'm gonna show you how to do those because you want the front of her tentacles to be like kind of like sassy. So it's gonna be like a nice little point on there. Okay. So far we got her on there. Okay. So you're gonna take your molding glue. You're gonna pinch it out, however you do it. Take it out, however you do it. Now, these right here, this next one here, make sure it's not too thick at all. Okay. So you want to roll it out. Roll it out. I'm finna show y'all. Don't worry. And then you see how I got like kind of like a little point at the end right here, like a little point there. Yeah, make it sassy. Okay, make it sassy. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to flash cure her for a few seconds. And then we're going to be ready to use that end. And then if you want to, you can make two of them. If you don't, you can use the other end and then just add a point. It's up to you. You can honestly, you don't even have to do it this way. If you want to just add, if you want to just clip it and then use half for one tentacle, use half for the other. That's totally fine. But I wanted to look more realistic than anything. You know what I'm saying? So All right. So I'm feeling good about that. She's nice and firm. So let's go ahead and take her off. We're going to clip. You see that? That's the part that's going to lay. Okay. And what you can do is you can go ahead and lay it down if you want to, or you could do like I'm going to do. Use that, may not. And then you can just lay it down. Just like a black widow. You know what I'm saying? We have to clip it, of course, it's too long. But if you know, you know, or if you look up a picture, you know that they have those little points. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. You see that? See how she kind of got that little point there? That's good. That's good. You're doing good. You're making headway there. Okay. Don't give up. We almost there. We almost at the finish line, honey. Like I said, it's gonna take time, but it's going to oh, you got that flash lamp? Yes. Hi, Miss Tara. Yes, this is the best flashlight lamp, right? But this is a Black Widow spider too. Hope you're having a good day too out there. Yes, this is the best lamp. Like, especially if you're doing nails on the go. Girl, trying to told you. All right, I'm gonna do this one more time with my gel polish. One more time. Take a little bit, roll it up, because I want that point, okay? And then we're going to get it nice and straight. I'm gonna show y'all in just a second as we can get it, okay? All right, so here it is, nice and pointed. And then we're going to just cure it, okay? Now, it do help if you go ahead and just, do all of them at the same time. Like I said, hey, call myself having all of them ready for y'all, but child, it's so much stuff on this stuff can feel off. That's why I always try to make sure I tell y'all the right thing, which make sure you have your desk clear, okay? Your desk is clear, okay? All right. So once we got this going, there we go. I'm just making sure it's nice and cured, y'all. All right, once that is cured, which it is, we're gonna keep going, okay? Now we're going to cut this part here. I'm gonna use that part there. I'm gonna clip this to about right. I'm gonna clip it too long so that if you have to, go down a little bit, then that's fine. But try not to clip it too short because then you have to, add on, redo it if that's what you want to do. But yeah. All right. So now we're gonna add a little bit of gel here. Okay. And then we're gonna do that here. Okay. So just take your time and you at the finish line, lovely. And just lay a little tentacles down. All right, there we go. Let me put a little acetone on my hand so it doesn't stick as much, okay? All right, there we go. We're gonna flash cure that. Okay, and then we'll go in and just fill in the joints. And then now we're gonna paint her. Okay, I'm gonna paint it just like we did the other one offline. Okay, black. So you'll need some black nail gel polish or whatever you're using. We're gonna go from there. Okay, so this is how she should look overall. Okay, so now we draw the joints. Try to go ahead and cure that if you can. You're gonna lean this little guy, this little leg up, and do the same thing. So if you have to hold your finger in between there, do it. Flash cure it. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on the front. And this is gonna bring everything together, okay? Hey, we close that window. Uh, I know that's right. Me too. All right, so here we go. Just curing that. And then we're gonna paint. We're gonna paint, okay? You will need some gray if that's what you want to use. I'm gonna use a gray and black trim for the drips. Okay. All right. So this is how your black widow should be looking, like all spider like. Okay. Something of this sort. Okay. Now it's time to go in and make her black. Okay. All right. So now let's move this stuff out of the way. Get your black liner gel. Whatever liner gel you use or gel polish you use, that's what you will need, okay? That's what you will need. So I'm going to go in with my nails I got off of Shein. Comes at a set of 2 for like $1 and something. Yes, you heard me, like $1 and something. All right, and we're going to just paint her body. Take your time. You could do this part before you do the legs. Solely up to you, but I'm just, I want to show you all the process and then, everything. So now we paint the legs, coat everything nice and evenly. If you mess up, take things off, start over. Or if you have to start over, just start over. But you really can't mess up. You got this, honestly. I believe in y'all. Yeah, I got this. Like a black widow, baby. So when I got challenged with this, I'm telling you, I was like, sugar, I don't know. She was like, yeah, you can do it, baby. You can do it. I'm like, okay, let me try. Hey, Pops. Who are you? All right, y'all. So we just paint the whole body, paint the legs, paint the body nice and right. If you have to turn the body over and get in there, go ahead and just get in there, okay? But nevertheless, don't give up just because you are feeling like defeated with maybe how the legs or something looking. Baby. We keeping going. We keeping going. We keeping going. You get a little bit on the nail, just clean it up, okay? You got free reign to clean it up. Or like I said, if you want to in the beginning, just go ahead and paint the body black and then do this, last. Do that, but do whatever is easy for you that makes it easier for you when doing this design. But I challenge you to do it. You know what I'm saying? The only way up is up, child, okay? And you got this. Y'all going up, baby. Y'all is elevating, honey. All righty. Okay. So now I'm just getting to the front of her little head. Just painting that. And then we do have just a smidget to clean up. Not much. Because honestly, I could just leave the black on there and that be it. But yeah, we gonna clean it up. Okay. Alright, we cleaning up the body. We got the body the front of her already done. The body is coming along nice and right and tight. The joints are looking jointed. They're looking good. Okay. All right. Last finishing piece right here before we go in with a second coat. This right here. Get all up under that body. Okay. And like I said, if you mess up, just clean it up. It ain't the end of the world. You're growing and you're learning if you're messing up. Okay. All right. We're going to get to a point where this don't even happen. So don't beat yourself up. Okay. All righty. Okay. So now, ooh, her little head. She got her head turned to the side. Like, girl, what do you want? Okay, mine is extra sassy. All right, honey. All right, so this is how it's gonna look. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look. Okay, right, and then we're going to, hey, wipe this off my nail, cause we. All right, and then you see how I have those little black spots in there. It's like more black in there. We're just gonna take our little handy dandy tool like so, and we're gonna add a little acetone to it, and then we're gonna just clean the area up, okay? And it comes smooth off, okay? Smooth off, okay? Now, if you are doing the design in black and black and off white like me, then honey, like I said, it will blend, but I don't want it to blend. I kind of want it to look the way it does. So for this part, I'm going to actually go ahead and pop it in the nail lamp because I don't think my flash cure will do what I need her to do. Okay. So now that's done. We're going to cure it on let's do about 80 seconds. And then we're going to go in with a second coat. Then we're going to draw the hourglass on there. In the meantime, in between time, we're gonna go in with a gray color, um, and then we're gonna outline it with black. So we're gonna use your Whitney J19. So let's see, 17, 15, 14. looking for J19, y'all. Hold on. All right, so we're gonna go in with this J19 color. Whew, Lordy. Now we're going to go in with a French tip here. So for this French, so usually I draw my line, but for this French, I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with just painting the nail itself like so, and then we'll French it from there. Okay. So I take a little bit of this, put it on my palette right here. And then we're going to take our liner brush. We're going to take our liner brush. Like so. She looking a little afraid, but nevertheless. I know this, right? Right. Nah, for you. All right. So now we're just doing our French tip. So I'm going to just French it. And then if you mess up, don't worry. We can just clean it up with our handy dandy tool and go from there. Babe, babe, you feel like taking out my salmon? And then will you hand me some Keebler's cookies? The stuff when we crab. Yes. Yeah, you got crab and lobster in it. So, yes, y'all, I'm having stuffed salmon with crab and lobster. All right. Okay, so I'm feeling good about that. But as you can see right here on the side here, we kind of messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean that up, okay? All right. Thank you, hon. Oh, Lord. These little things get on my nerves sometimes because the little strags be getting on my dang on nail. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? All right, y'all. So here is our French tip. Nope. Stop, Coda. No leaking. All right. So I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far. All right. There we go. So this is what the French tip is going to look like. And then we'll have some drips coming out of it. Came through dripping. Drip, drip. Diamonds on my neck, they dripping. Ice. All right. So here go our spider. We're going to go in with the second coat of our black here. Hold on, y'all. Alexandra said, "How do you have the patience? Because I would not." I don't know, child. I don't even know, girl. Well, I just do, you know. Especially with me, taking my craft more seriously. Like it's like I know people gonna come and ask for some of the most outlandish things one day. At least I'm claiming that. I know they will because I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm just not getting to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm pretty good. But one day, I already have a few paying customers. Caught that? But they don't ask for stuff like this. They ask for like, you know, regular stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, a little butterfly, little flower, you know what I'm saying? But one day when I'm licensed soon, I'm just preparing myself, just preparing myself. And then honestly, I like it. I like just sitting here doing stuff like this. It's my peace. Like I don't have to worry about nobody being in my space, nobody crowding you know, my mind with negativity or what's happening out there when I don't want to hear it. And it's just, it's my peace. So yes, I guess that's another reason why I do it, girl. But child, I don't know how I got the patience, honey. But somehow I do. Somehow I do. All right. So once we go over everything with a second coat, make sure everything's nice and second coated too, because if not, it's going to show. Might not look like it because, you might not feel like it because it's black, but it will. Okay. So just go over everything with a second coat and then we're going to move on. Okay. Body and everything. Okay. All righty. So we're just going under the legs and tentacles. And just making sure everything is nice and black, like so. Okay. So now you're going to take your handy dandy tool, clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up, and then you're going to pop it back in the nail lamp, and then we're going to draw the hourglass on the body. Okay. I'm going to draw the hourglass on the body. Okay. All right. So that's how she's looking so far. Go in with the second coat of your gray. All right. And then we're going to take our handy dandy liner brush and finish it off with the smile line, okay? Okay. So make sure everything is nice and right and tight. And then pop it back into the nail lamp. Okay. So it should look something like so. All right. So we're going to pop that in there and let it go for about those same seconds, few seconds. Now we're ready to draw our black widow. Like a black widow, baby. All right, so we're gonna draw black widow on here, but I'm gonna go in with the smaller liner brush. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the smaller liner brush. So what I like to do is put a little bit on the palette. And then we're going to go in with our black liner brush, okay? So here we go. We're going to draw a Black Widow on here. So it look like black. I don't know why I put it in this spot because it looked like an E. But we gonna fix it and make it thicker. We're gonna make that. Mm. Mm-mm. Okay. I said, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't like these. Yes, baby, I'm sure. Alright, well, that ain't gonna work. So when we don't work, we just pivot, right? So that's what we would do. We would pivot. So I'm gonna pop this back in the nail lamp because I kind of like that look. All right, she's back. And then we'll just put a jewel on there like we do, and we put a heart on there like a pulsing heart or something, like some heart coming out or something. All right, so now we gotta go in with our red. Let me see. We got red Urano. Alright, so we're gonna go in with our red Burano. And we're gonna draw the hourglass that goes on the back of the Black Widow. So take your whatever red liner brush you want to use. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Make it look more hourglass, you know. I know that. Okay. So you want to put that on the back, okay? There we go. And once you have that hourglass drawn, pop it in the nail lamp, okay? Pop it in the nail lamp, or you can flash here if that's what you want to do, okay? It's gonna look something like so, okay? All right. So pop that in the nail lamp. You're gonna do 2 coats of that, and then for this one right here, we're going to get spunky. However, in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna take this and we're gonna do some drips, okay? Fit this on here. Put a little bit on my palette, okay? And this is where your dotting tool comes into play. So you take this, your dotting tool. You can use the smaller or thicker side. Start with a dot. I'm gonna do a short one. Starting out. Don't worry, it might not look like it at first, but what I tell you always, it's going to. Then we're gonna outline this with black. Okay, we're gonna clean these up right here because the lines, the dots are a little thick, so we're gonna clean that up with a tool like such. Okay, take off just a little bit. Okay, so what I mean is we're gonna go just like so. Don't worry about how it's looking right now. Clean it up. Keep it pushing. Okay. If you have to take it off and start over, that's just what you do. So we'll go in with our attention. Okay. So we're gonna go back in with our maroon. Go in with the small dot here. Go in with a longer dot here, more like a teardrop. I've been watching them with their phones. And then we'll go in with the smaller dot on this side here. Just evenly to this dot that we have. I've been watching them with their phones. And then what you can do is take your handy dandy tool. Make sure it's nice and clean always. And then just connect. I've been watching niggas like funny, like I've been watching niggas like funny. Okay. Just shake that. I've been watching niggas like funny, like funny. We do the outline in black, and then we're gonna go back over this in black, okay? Alright, and so take our black liner. We outline everything first. We're going to fix this. Alright. Alright. Now we go ahead and take our hand in black. And we outline it, okay? Right here, just make sure that this line isn't too big. Right, so my drip's gonna look something like this. Okay. Guys, we gonna find it. It's just not gonna be able to just nice. Taking these right here. Once this is done, alright, satisfied with how this is looking. And so I'm gonna pop it in the nail. Yeah. Sure. We'll fix it in just a second. Alright, now in with our handy dandy red one more time. Here's how it's looking. She's looking. I'll pop this and back to the nail out. Then now we're gonna jewel this nail here. And what I have over here is a nice heart. This red. Dang, I did it backwards. It's all good. So now take I'm gonna take my dot tool. All right.
JD just told me, like, you know, we're gonna be packing the house next Sunday for your pop. Coming up deep in that pilgrimage. You know, I'm gonna feel bad because I don't feel like I went off on them, but I'm like, if you would have told me, I would have did everything in my power to come, even if we was just for that Sunday. Yeah. Going on and on and on. I'm sorry. I said, the pilgrim is going to get the best deacon that they've ever received. He's so hands on. Like, I told her, I know how like Christmas. He said, but I would have, I don't care if I had to stay at the airport Friday and Saturday, like, he got off the airport Sunday. He was back on. She keep asking me to tell them, but I asked about 5, 6 times. Every time I got an egg, I kept asking. Once I found out up there, I was like, yeah, I got to take sure I don't miss it. It's just me and I had to support the people. Yeah, I would have loved that. Like I said, even if I was leaving her Thursday in the airport all day Friday, leave Saturday, consider night Sunday, and leave her over. I would have played, I would have slept in the airport for 28 hours. Yes, you should. Nobody will. Oh, my father was doing good. I'm so proud. Oh, I'm so proud. It's amazing. All right, now I'm just going over my drawers. And if you mess up, it's okay. He gonna take the pizza though. You might not want to because people try to take pictures. They gonna take it. I know that's right. It's like a high school girl. Now my sister said she late because she out of town this morning. The mom said she in St. Louis. Ute? Yeah, on the in-law side of the family. Oh. Okay. She turned good. Shoot you, I'll be turned too. I know she gonna be there next Sunday. She gonna put some pictures up there. Everybody gonna have pictures of pie. He ain't gonna know it. That's what he told me. I know that's right. But we would have made it when if we knew. Like I said, even if it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm gonna take my computer. Even if we left out the church Sunday, head to the airport, we would have made it. We ain't have to stay no whole week in there. Right. I did. Now looking back, I guess I kind of did say it in the time. I would have told you. You should have told her. We would have been a top supporter. You had to stay on home. 35, 20 Suki. You talking like anybody? Shoot. Tell her shoot. All right. Disappointed. I've been asking since I found out. I got put up on air. Right, that shouldn't be nothing to find. I get like her may not be giving this to me. There she goes. It's still not too late for the club. Girl, it is. We ain't even. Oh. Now she talking about she should give me something on it. I don't want to. It ain't the point that I can't. Or it just punch. they got some tickets just to hit the 400, we make it odd. I would be surprised if he won't have to change what I'm like.
Hey, RX, how you doing? Hi, lovely. Hope you having a good Sunday. I mean Saturday. Dang, I'm already fast forwarding us.
Girl, tell what they got a ticket for 131. On Saturday.
Yes, honey. We should really go. Y'all make sure I go follow RX Nails. She be slaying some nails. Now that's who can do some nails too. I ain't no junkie, but do license. Okay? Here's one blank. You heard. And take a nail journey seriously. Like, some people out here that don't take it serious or take it as serious as us, but she takes her serious, and I can respect that, and is willing to teach other people how to do nails and how to, do certain things like raw and authentically. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Make sure I go follow RX Nails, okay? Period. Point blank. Thank you for my marshmallow. Now, it's time for me to jewel this nail and this nail. Oh,
Why would you tell me? I don't want your money.
yep.
You know, I will. I'm gonna record. I don't care who all that. This is gonna be saying. So this is finished part. I don't feel good. She's gonna ask for what they put up. I don't eat so I don't eat. I don't feel put up.
Nah, they should be right down there. All right.
child. So now just placing my jewels on. And jewel placement is not awesome. So you all are watching me like try to at least get it somewhere in real time. So it's just me being authentic. Alright. Just going back over the drills. It now looks so drippy. We finding it. We making it work. I want you on us to the lace. I want you to do it back. Focus on you. Focus on you and I want you to do it. I want you to do it okay. You know everything. So okay. We can buy that one day. So it looks something like that. Do something real easy to the opponent that you all can do as well. Child, like, I want you to be like, I want you to be like, okay? Please, your mom. Child, be like, I want you to be like, let me go to this lady. We're gonna do all the water drips, and then we're gonna top coat it after we do all the water drips. Child, I want you to be like, I want you to like, focus on you on the stage. Sometimes you better I want to say, I was still a baby. You know what I like. Try to like, I want you to stipulate. I want you to do anything. When you know that text, sometimes you better I want to say, God is still a baby. Try to like, I want you to stipulate. I want you to like, when you know that text, sometimes you better I want to say, God is still a baby. Child to life. I want to know the life. I want you to do everything. Other than you know that things. Sometimes get better. I want to say. Other something. I don't want you to know the life. Child to life. I want you to know the life. I want you to do everything. Other than you know that things. Other sometimes get better. I want to learn. You want to make sure you are talking to the name too, okay? Tribulation. I want you to know stimulation. I want you to know I'm glossy. Better than that. God is just my baby. I don't want me, you know what I like. Child and tribulation. I want you to know stimulation. I want you to be like crazy. Other than you know that taste. The other sometimes it's better. don't want you know what I like.
I want you to.
I want you when I stay like. I want you to like that. Okay, go you when I touch. Something it's better. I want it. God is just my baby. I don't want me no other like. Trials and tribulations. I want you when I stay to like.
Decide to
I
go
want you
with
to
God
like that.
because I feel like
You when I have
celebrations
touch.
is
Something it's better. I want it. God is just my baby. I don't want me no other like. This way.
keep it solid. Some of these have little raindrops on them. So here it is. Here's my spider. So she turned out. Then I'm gonna fix the temples because I'm not a fan of how it's looking. I want them to lay like this. I might even take this one. I can't take it off, but so thank you so much, RX. I can just look at Miss Tara said, "Are you listening to Queen Reese?" No, this sugar make music, so she be back here. She's in the booth right now. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for my nails and the RX. I'm trying to come up with something different and unique. Yesterday, Hello Kitty, and I was not a fan. Thank you. And it's just because it's just the bow. But these, by far, I would say, was one of my favorite sets to make. I'm trying to stick it up. Doing some very fun. What you all have been telling me I need to do. So, really, okay? So, what I'm doing right now is I'm just bending. I'm bending her so it's pretty she's so close. Oh, anyway, so here are the needles. Let me show you what they look like. So, we have the spider. Sit. So much. Thank you so much. Start okay. I like to use 10 years. Alright. So here is what they look like up close and personal. I'm gonna do it one by one. Here's what she looked like from the front. She's kind of turned around. So here's what she looks like from the front. And then this is her in the back. And then we got little with some little raindrops. And then I see the gold jewels. So it's something different. It's something different. Everything about the raindrops. It's really different. We find it. Alright. So be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out when I'm live and in action. And I do appreciate y'all for staying around and watching. And thank y'all for the gifts. I don't know if those are gifts or foods, but what is this in the corner? It's in the top corner. So I see like 50 some money, and then I see is this height? It was height 55 times. I don't know what it is in this corner.
sure appreciate y'all for it. I can't wait till we do start getting, the coin, because I ain't gonna do no giving back to y'all. I like to give back. God is blessing me to one I always been giving back, even when I was going through poverty. I know. We just givers. My mom was a big giver too. Yeah, so we are going to give back 10 times. Also, too, we have a 10K giveaway. I'm going to be giving away some AirPods and probably another $50 gift card. So just look forward to my post. I'll make sure I post it at the 10K giveaway when we make it to 10K. Give away some AirPods and $50, and then yeah, we're just gonna keep on up and up. And then I'll break the news to y'all probably. So let me see. Yeah, I probably already guessed, but I haven't officially said it yet. But I probably break the news to y'all in a couple more ways. Even though everything is all set in stone. But got some big news coming out. And I'm so excited. Because from there, I'll be able to travel and do what I love and then go into these certain places that I'm already making connections with and recommended to do what I love, which is do nails. So stay tuned for that news. If you put two and two together, then you got it. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this week. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day and stay good, stay creative. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Yeah, we just slayed the day. Okay. All right, boo boo. We out of here. Toodles.